This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, my name's Sierra Stewart, and I am delighted to share with you the newest Corefact platform for Coldwell Banker Schmidt Realty. This can be accessed by typing in the URL cbschmidt.corefact.com, or there's a link posted on your marketing page. And to log into your account, we've already created accounts for all of you. You're going to simply enter in your email address and then the password Schmidt 2021 and hit sign in. And the first time you log in, it will ask you to agree to our terms of service, and then you will access your account. So one thing that we'll recommend that you do the first time you log in, of course, since we have created these usernames and passwords for you, would be to go to your account, personal information, and just update your password here. So I'll leave that as is so Leilani can access her account, but we'll want everyone to update their password first time they log into something that they can remember. So back to the Corefact store here for Coldwell Banker Schmidt Realty, you'll notice we have a whole bunch of options for placing orders for marketing materials. And really how we work with agents is we help you get listings by promoting your brand and your business, and then to promote those listings so that you can get the best price for your sellers and in turn use those listings to generate more activity. So how we do that is lots of different ways, through postcard campaigns, through promoting your brand through signage, business cards, lots of different opportunities. And I'm going to give you a high level overview here on the page today. And hopefully you'll have some takeaways for ideas for how you can leverage this platform to generate more listings and activity for your business. So let's get started. So over here on the left, you'll see lots of different options for materials. And if you are a creative person who works with the designer or have design capability, you can upload your own designs, and we'll be your print provider here in the upper left. Market your listing. So this is an exciting section where we actually work with your local MLS to pull in all of your listing detail and procreate different listing material or different listing pieces for you with our autofill program. So this is Leilani Bowersock's account, and thanks for letting us use your account, Leilani. And you'll notice her listings are appearing up here. Not all of them have photography, and that's why those are appearing with no images, but the ones that have photography are pulling in. And what we can do is select any of these and then select a design, and then we can see how it would lay out and how they would potentially look with those designs. So let's look at this first one, the La Montier Avenue. Apologize for my pronunciation, but if I click on that listing, you'll see down below all of the designs automatically populate with that photography, so we can get a sense of which one we might want to use. Now, something to keep in mind, it looks like the first three photos or so are exterior front photos, and that happens a lot when we work with a photographer. They're going to take multiple photos of the same angle, but what we can do once we select a design is make those changes in the next step. So it doesn't mean that they're going to get just 3-4 pictures of the front of the house or whatever that shot may be. This is our jumbo postcard, the 8.5 by 5.5 size. It's our most popular size. If you're looking to really stand out, you could potentially increase that to a super jumbo. And as I select that super jumbo, you'll see the designs populating automatically. We are a full service print and direct mail and digital mail or digital service company. So we not only do the printing, but we also coordinate with the post office to distribute these so that they can be sent out either via standard mail, which is what you're looking at here, or via EDDM mail, which we'll talk about the difference between those two here in a minute. But we offer both options on our site. EDDM is going to be a slightly different size and a little bit less expensive. So just a word about the different mailing options, when you get into first or standard mail options, you are sending to that specific person at the house, and you can have variable data on those pieces, which means that you can have something that has their name on it potentially, maybe a call to action, which we'll explore here in a minute. And it is you're paying per piece for those pieces to arrive, with either return service and forwarding service on the first class pieces, or just delivery to that address on the standard mail pieces. First class mail obviously being a little bit more expedited. So if it's a listing or anything that's time sensitive, we definitely recommend that first class mailing. If it's something that can wait a little bit more, it's general branding for you, or maybe it's a just sold. In most cases, standard mail is going to work just fine. EDDM works a little differently in that it is true bulk mail. It actually goes in at the bottom of the pile. If you'll notice, your mail is stacked according to the mailing class, with your first class mail on top and your standard below that, and then your bulk mail at the very bottom. So this gets stuffed in with the bulk mail. You are going to save money, so pricing wise, it's a much less expensive avenue, but you're not going to see the tracking that you'll see available on these other pieces. So I'll come back to that in a minute and show you the tracking, but I do want to show that this also works. This autofill concept also works, and we'll pick a different listing to show this time, with our flyers and brochures. So you'll see the photography appear now on these pieces, and you'll get a sense of, gosh, I really like that with the black background, or I like it with the white background, etc. So we can see how that plays out. And basically, to order one of these pieces, what you would do is select the design that you like, which I just did. Now you'll notice too, Leilani's account hasn't been all the way set up, so her headshot is not populating, so that would be something that she could either do at the account level, or she could do right here in the order. If you make changes at the order level, they won't stay and apply to your next order, so it would be better if you did that at the account level when you're going in to change your password. But for now, we get the idea. And here's side 2 of that. My Siri thinks that I'm talking to her. Side 2 of that design, and I hit continue. This shows you our pricing. So just to talk about pricing is going to vary based on the product and the quantity. This is a 2-sided 8.5 by 11 piece. Starts at 25 pieces for $1.03 a piece, and if you get over 100, you're looking at 79 cents. If it's a 1-sided piece, it's going to be a little bit less. If it's a fold over, a little bit more, etc. Now you can create this in our system, and we can offer a download for you, or we can you can have it printed and shipped to you. Shipping times are going to vary based on what you would like to pay for that. So our cutoff time is noon Pacific time, so that would be 3 p.m. Eastern, which I think most of you are on the Eastern time zone. So if you get an order in by 3, you actually will have the choice of your shipping method. If you want it overnight, of course, that's the most expensive, Saturday delivery being the most expensive of all the overnights, as you probably would expect. Ground shipping, we're actually shipping to you out of our Kentucky facility, and so ground shipping is just going to be a couple of days. But if you need it assured to be delivered within a day or two, then you'll need to select overnight or 2-day or 3-day, one of those. But just to give you a little heads up on cost and turnaround time there. So we enter your order name and hit continue. And of course, first time ordering, we're going to ask you to fill out some of that information, which we don't have yet. So Leilani, you'll need to do that when you log in. And then it's going to show you the pages here. Now I've got a little warning sign here that's telling me the image is low resolution. I could potentially upload a different photo if I wanted to do that. Now, if I want to make edits to any of these pieces, I can go, and all of the photography associated with that listing is being pulled in here. So remember, I was saying we have the multiple front photos on that one piece. This is where you would choose maybe a different photo or interior or exterior photo. You could change that. These are coming from the MLS, and it could be that when we get them from the MLS. They are high-res photos that have been condensed, so we may only be getting the smaller or the lower resolution photos. Something to note is depending on the size of the output, you may need to stick to a smaller area. So for example, this is an 8.5 by 11 piece, of which this front photo is taking up most of that size. That's a pretty good size photo. I could either potentially replace this with a higher resolution photo or potentially choose a different template that has smaller photography if I was concerned about the output being a little pixelated. And by that, I mean it's got the little squares instead of the nice crisp edges. And that's what happens when we've got low resolution photography sometimes. Now, this would potentially be a QR code on this design, so we could enter in a URL if we wanted to send someone to. I thought this was actually I thought this was a headshot, but I guess on the front page here it's a URL for a QR code. And QR codes, if you're not using them, definitely start using them in your marketing because they are the hottest thing. We saw just coming through quarantine and COVID-19 that QR codes, because they're touchless, because restaurants started using them. We were already using them for air travel and tickets for admission, but really saw just an uptick in usage and people being familiar and comfortable using them when the restaurant industry started using them. And if you're not using them in your marketing, I think it's a missed opportunity because you can track them. You can see where people are going. If you've got a trackable code that you're using maybe, or URL that you're tracking usage, maybe it's a virtual tour or your own personal website, something that you want to direct people to, you could just enter in that URL right here. And we have an auto QR code generator. So as soon as you type it in, it's going to generate that QR code and away you go. And anything that, now we're going to pull in all of the MLS content, but if you wanted to potentially, like this one, maybe I want a bigger font here. So I'm going to, oh wow, it's too big. But, you know, I want to get this a little bit bigger. You know, I can make this bigger. You know, here it's got the listing. Maybe I want to, maybe this one, I want to change the font to Helvetica. You can play with this and you can see as I'm making the changes up above, it's actually reflected in my flyer down below. You know, here I've got the Leilani information. Maybe I want to bold that so that it just stands out a little bit more. So you can see as I'm making those changes, they're affected down below, and I can see how it looks. And I think it looks, well, other than the photo, it looks pretty good. Being low resolution, I mean. And same thing, we're getting those same low resolution warnings here. And again, that could be because of the MLS. The other thing I might look at here is we're going to pull in all that data from the MLS, but maybe it's too much to have here, and it might decrease our font size to the point, we're at 10 point right now, which is a pretty small font size. So I might maybe just take out, you know, a few of these middle sections, and that should increase my font size. No, I'm not doing a great job editing this, but what it's doing is it's giving me a little bit more room in this section. And then if they have questions, they can call Leilani to find out more. But more importantly, we want to be able to read this and not have it print too small. This is the headshot I was talking about that was missing, that was on the back side. So again, we'd want to make sure that Leilani's headshot was in here, and we could either upload that within the order, or she could upload that into her personal account and have it populate to every piece. So that's a little bit about how our editing system works. But back to the store, I did want to show you what is unique about Corefact with our signature piece, which is basically it's a lead generation from our mailings. So what we're really known for and what people get excited about with Corefact is the capability to track our direct mail pieces. So if we get into the postcard section, of course, we're going to have those just listed and just sold pieces that we were just looking at, that autofill, but more exciting than that, and this is actually could be on the back of one of those property promotion pieces that we were just looking at, but the concept is that we have a call to action on our piece is a built-in call to action that is trackable. And what it is, and I'll pull up, this piece has it on the front. Now this would be potentially a postcard option back, and I'll show you what the backs look like. So if you're promoting a listing, you could have this on the back. But what we are doing is we're giving them the opportunity to scan a QR code for an instant home estimate. If you're watching this on your computer and you've got your phone nearby, go ahead and grab it. And now if you're watching on your phone, you're gonna have to get someone else's phone. But if you have your phone nearby, go ahead and scan this. And what it's going to do is it's going to pop up a demo account. And it's going to be this page right here, but in mobile form, which is realestatehomeprice.com. And it's going to ask you to verify your address. Now this is a demo page here, but this would be uniquely printed for the recipient of that postcard. So everyone gets a unique QR code sent to them on their postcard for their property. And when they are asked to verify the property address, it's their property address. So it's not, you know, the listing address, it's not your address, it's not the office address, it's the address that is being mailed to. And then when they confirm that address, or they could update it, maybe they're a property landlord and they have multiple properties, they could put in a different address, or maybe they just moved. They could do a lot of different things. They could update that or verify it. And when they do that, so this is what they would see on the mobile experience, they'd be asked to verify that address. When they do that, we're going to show them sold and active homes around that property and give them a home value range. Now we're not a Zestimate, and we really want them to have a conversation with you. This is just a starting point for that conversation. And you'll notice it's branded to you as the agent, so your contact information will pull in from your account. One more reason we want you to get your headshot in there, and any other details that we want in your account. Now, the one thing that should be pulling up for your account is that CB Schmidt Realty logo. So that will automatically populate. And then the basics of your account that we got from the roster from your marketing team. But we'll need you to update any additional personal information that you want to show, including that headshot. So this is showing sold and active. If we just wanted to show active, we've got a couple here. If we just want to show sold, we've got a couple here, and we can come down and view those either sold or active pieces. Let's say I want to see both of them. I can come down. Maybe I don't want the solds, maybe I just want the actives, and some of these must be out of range, why we don't see them on that map. But that's going to change the value. And all of this, you know, they might spend a couple minutes on this page. I think average length of time on this page is, you know, just a few minutes. But what they've done is they've interacted now online with something that started out as a physical mailing piece. So we've actually built in 2 touches. And as you know, if you've marketed before, if you've invested in a marketing campaign, it's all about touches and repeat impressions. And we've already gone from 1 impression, which was the mailed piece that they received, to 2 impressions, which is the online version. So you're already getting double the number of impressions from 1 piece. And you've also, your brain works a little differently with a physical piece, which obviously you're touching and holding, and it's a tangible piece, versus this visual digital light piece. So you're actually touching different parts of your potential client's brain when they're touching a physical piece and interacting with you online. So it's a pretty neat experience that you're double dipping, if you will, there. One of the most recognized brands in the world is Coca-Cola, and there was a study that said on average we see and interact with 6 Coca-Cola impressions on a daily basis, and we don't even realize it because they're digital ads, they're end cap designs, they're billboards, they're magazine, you know, all the different ways that we see it. And really we're just building those branding impressions for you by doing this. And our clients this is one of the reasons people love Corefact, is because of this concept. And one thing that we noticed during COVID and quarantine, I was talking about QR codes earlier, is that the response rates for this particular call to action, we saw traffic increase to this real estate home price site. But I think we saw it increase about 20% over a 6-month period, where people were just more interactive with their direct mail. For a lot of people that were quarantined, that was their only, that was the one time they left their house during the day, once they went out to get their mail. And so they were interacting with it more. They were checking out home values, and just, the volatility of, or the uncertainty of that time. People were very curious about their home values, and we haven't seen a slowdown. So since, the last year and a half or so, we've just seen response rates for this particular call to action much higher than we had seen them in previous times. And then when someone scans that QR code, you actually are going to get notification. This is back on Leilani's account. When someone scans that, you're going to get notification that we know who that was, because remember, that's a unique QR code. You're going to get, as the person that sent out that card, a notification in your email, and you'll also be able to check here under your contacts. And Leilani hasn't sent out any cards, but we would show percentage from each mailing list that she's sending to, how many people responded, and the most active users. And you're going to have a little dashboard here that would show you, so you can actually really track your marketing expense from a direct mail standpoint, if you're investing in direct mail. So back to that store, and then just a little bit more about those postcards. And we've got, as you can see, just gobs and gobs of designs. So that's another reason people love us, is we make a lot of options and content available to you. And as you saw when I was editing that one piece with the listing brochure, you also can edit. So you do have a lot of capability from an artistic standpoint. If you like the concept or elements of our templates or designs, but you'd like to make it your own, you can do that within our system. We also have a custom design team if you need some assistance, where if you have a concept or a direction, but maybe not finding exactly what you need on the Corefact site, contact our custom design team, and we can refer you to them, and they can definitely point you in the right direction. But what I wanted to share on this particular design, this just happens to be the one that I was showing a minute ago, so I'm going to pull it up again. This front, now you're choosing the front, and then you would actually choose the back. So these backs that have that QR code, those could be on the back of a listing promotion piece, for example. And this one actually does have a listing promotion. It's got that one listing that we had selected. So potentially you could have that QR code on the front and then maybe listing on the back, or vice versa. So it's a mix and match situation. And we've got lots of different back designs. Postcards, let's look at pricing here for a second. We're on our most popular size at 8.5 by 5.5, but of course you saw we have different sizing there. They're going to vary in cost based, again, by mailing rate and quantity. So you can see the pricing here. Print only means we print and ship them to you, and you are responsible for distribution. Standard and first class mail obviously vary based on turnaround time and forwarding service. So you can provide your own list if you have a list, or we can generate a list for you. Address lists are 7 cents a piece for an address, and you can generate either a radius list or use our polygon tool to draw a map around a neighborhood and generate your list that way. Once you purchase a list, it remains in your account, so you can use it as often as you like. Although we do recommend, because once a list is generated, it becomes static. So we do recommend generating new lists periodically to keep your data fresh, if you will. So back to our store, and you saw postcards, you saw brochures, so that's your listing promotion, and obviously you're appeasing your seller and trying to get the best price for their property. But we all know that the real intent of those high class marketing pieces are really to get your next seller, right? Because we've all heard stories of people who come in to an open house or on a listing appointment, and they're holding what you use to market your last listing, saying something like, you know, I really like the marketing that you did for my neighbor. I was hoping you could do something similar. You know, so it does go without saying. I think you probably all know this, but the point of a listing is to, and marketing a listing is really to get another listing. It's not necessarily to sell. Sell that property. The properties are going to sell. Those are going. We all know that. It's a crazy market right now. But to help you out in other ways, we have signs. So if you need your A-frame signs or your just listed signs, so all of those, and social media props. These are super fun, and I'm just going to highlight some things, but these are fun, you know, to have your happy seller or buyer to do a little promotion with them, and you could post it on social media, and they're holding a little sign. Or it's funny, you hand someone a sign like this, and they just start smiling. And it's like you can't hand them the sign and have them not smile. I think it's really cute. Brochures, flyers, note cards and gifts. So this would be if you're just, you know, need to do some note cards, we can personalize them for you. Business basics. These are fun too for like a little closing gift. You can work with your you know, buyers if they bought a new home, or I guess even your sellers if you're helping them with the second part of their journey, business cards, etc. So lots and lots and lots of options here. A couple more things that I will mention are the way our system works. One, you can order a la carte. There's no charge to you for having this account. That's all set up um, through your company. So there's nothing that you need to pay for other than the pieces that you purchase. So get in and explore, and call us if you need help. In the upper right hand corner here, you'll see our customer service line and our customer service email address. They can help you with order placing or if you have any questions. The other thing I'll point out is this academy, and the academy is great for how to use Corefact, different tools available. Also, this free content section has all kinds of featured free, whether it's social media posts or a business plan or open house signups, etc. Our newsletter down here at the bottom, if you sign up for our newsletter, one, you're going to get discount codes. So we'll send you out a promo code when we usually have promo codes every month. And then you'll also see the newest articles in the Academy, which has free tools and resources for you. And then you can order a la carte, as I was mentioning, or if you want to use our set it and forget it automated marketing campaign for marketing domination. Now, this is really a farming tool. Our elite program, we can have you have a free consultation with one of our salespeople. The idea with elite and the elite program is for those of you that want to focus in on an area and really target that area with a mailing campaign and not have to think about it every month. This is the tool for you, and we will customize the piece. And we use these what we call shells and billboard system. So we've got this shell on the outside, which will be custom created for you with your branding, your logo, your photo or team photo or whoever you're working with. If cost is a concern, potentially you might want to work with the lender, and we can do that as well to split the cost. But that shell is your consistency, and that's how you start building that recognition and the branding. So month after month, people get used to you seeing you, which builds that familiarity and recognition, eventually builds trust. And eventually, when their time is right, you are their go-to person for real estate. And then the billboard changes out every month. So it's a really neat program because you're building both that branding and consistency, but you're also presenting new and timely information. And we have a little formula we like, which basically has market updates interspersed with fun or seasonal pieces that are a little bit lighter, interspersed with more business appropriate topics like preparing your home for sale, or is it better to rent or buy, or you know, those kinds of things. So we have a whole bunch of hundreds and hundreds of different options you'll choose from. You'll work with a salesperson to get this going, and then it is set and forget. So if you're interested in that, we can help you get set up. Otherwise, you're welcome to just shop all day long here in the Corefact store. that we set up for Coldwell Banker Schmidt Realty. Again, your account is ready for you to go, and you can log in using your email address and the password Schmidt 2021. We will have a code for everyone to use, which we'll have sent out, and it'll be a 10% off your first order, called First 10, FIRST 10, First 10. So you can all use that. And if you have any questions, please contact our customer service department, and we look forward to helping you achieve your marketing goals and partnering with you in the future. Thanks so much.